Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for another power building training vlog, and today was shoulder day. Yes, I started off with a really wide grip press. I wanted to build up and do kind of a heavy top set with better leverages, but I kind of liked this as a warm-up. I wanted to just mess with it as a bit of a warm-up today. These were not really warm-ups, these were hard sets for me. But because this really just kind of opens my shoulders up and gives me a nice good upper chest pump, it was kind of good for my ramp-up sets before going for the really heavy set. Because again, with the power building, I do feel like I want to get my overhead press kind of strong too. Almost as a separate power lift. Not that I necessarily value it in that regard, but mainly because of, again, the incline carryover, all the upper chest, the front delt, just the overall potential for aesthetics. So again, I kind of liked this to get ready to get everything pumped and in a position to do a heavy top set. I just felt like doing this today, so I don't want people to think that I think it's always superior. It was just a nice good warm-up. And then when I went with kind of my stronger grip here, again, I kind of want my stricter pressing, overhead pressing. That's why I'm doing it seated. I want to get this up because I feel like it will carry over to just my overall aesthetics for that entire area. It carries over really well to my incline bench. My incline carries over to my flat bench. So again, because I'm really focusing hard on that area, because again, I do incline for most of my chest day. I only do 3 sets of flat bench at the moment. Everything else is incline. We're hitting incline from every angle. I really am pushing a little bit more overhead pressing. So again, we ended up doing 3 sets of the seated press. Then we did 3 sets of upright rows. Now, I want to be clear, in these shoulder days, most of my work is biased towards rear delts and side delts. Okay, but I'm not entirely skipping front delt work. But again, at this point, I probably don't want to isolate it much. I did isolate it last week, but I'm kind of sticking with the pattern I've been doing. So this isn't like a change. I just felt like doing that last week, but I'm kind of sticking with what I've been doing now, and that's a focus on an overhead press, then upright rows, laterals, and then lots of rear delts. And I feel like this is a good setup because notice my shoulders are starting to look better, right? They're starting to look better. Again, as I continue to work on getting leaner, recompositioning a little bit. And at this point in the game, no, I'm not going to try to cut fast anymore. It's just going to be very slow because I want to regain a little muscle, a little fullness, and continue to keep that going. So I'm eating a lot more carbs. I'm still fasting in the mornings. For those curious, the calories are quite high, but I'm doing fasting in the mornings, and I'm eating very, very high fiber, low fat in terms of my carbs. But I'm eating a ton of food. So we will notice maybe a little bit of extra water in the loose skin area. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell day to day. I felt like on Monday I actually looked pretty tight, pretty good. But I'm just going to keep working on it. As I get leaner, I do feel like it's improved over time. But the thing to remember with loose skin from weight loss, it is still mostly body fat that causes it. And people forget that. And they're like, and if you want any further evidence of that, how many of the plastic surgeons, when you know someone who's got those surgeries where they did lipo all in the area on top of it? Well, if they're liposuctioning it, that's fat. Which means you can, in theory, keep getting leaner and get it tighter and tighter. Okay, and again, plenty of trainers have pointed that out over the decades. So again, if I just keep getting lean enough, it's going to continue to improve. And I mean, it's actually better than it has been. So just going to keep working at it. But again, the shoulder day is really, I think, critical to my physique. Yes, we're putting a lot of focus on arms and stuff, but the shoulder day helps. The other thing I am doing, and I've kind of decided with settled in this week a little bit, a lot of the smaller workouts I'm doing between, they're really, I don't want to do upper body stuff. I feel like if I just optimize my upper body on my days, because I have 3 days dedicated to my upper body every week, right? Only 2 lowers. Really what's the most bang for my buck? I really need lots of ab work, so I'm doing hundreds of crunches every day. Some days I'm doing as many as 1,000, but that's no more than once or twice a week. And then doing calf raises every day. Because again, if we're really going to talk about fat loss, what's going to have the most potential for fat loss as far as a lift? Doing calves. And plus, since I'm kind of not doing them directly anymore on my training days, that's a great place to work them in. So I've been doing just high rep body weight calf raises, standing on a bar like this on my workout bike in my office. I've been doing those every day during my fasted window too, because then when I'm walking and doing other cardio and stuff, it will help burn through that calories, right? By continuing to do that, it's going to help. So back over to the training. So after the upright rows, we did laterals. I managed to get, I think, 13 on every set. It might have been the last time I only got 12 or 13. So I'm actually seeing on those plate laterals a little progress. And then I like to do these seated rear delt raises. And yes, I know this is not a flattering angle. This is the one my haters will try to use. But, who cares, right? I'm going to pretend that I'm fat still because, I do that. And I would challenge anyone. Who wants to make a big deal about that. Anyone who wants to talk smack there, let's see you do it. Get a little pair of shorts on and bend over like that. Let's see how you look. Because I thought that was fascinating, and I think this shows that we need to understand this stuff for us as individuals. Okay, we need to understand this for us as people. I saw a thing of Arnold when he was lean, once sitting down and bent over like that, and his whole belly rolled up over the whole thing, and he was lean with abs. He was something like 6 weeks out from the Olympia, right? It goes to tell us something, doesn't it? Yeah. Don't be self-conscious about those things, guys. Don't be self-conscious about those things. You're not gonna be shredded year round. You're not. Okay. So afterwards, I decided let's really hammer the rear delts hard. So to finish up the workout, I went ahead and did 5 sets of the band pull-aparts, mainly because these are so easy to recover from. They really light that area up. To be honest, I do the rear delt raises just because I know they're a good exercise. If I go off of feel, if I went purely off of feel, I would come in and do like 10 sets of these. Because honestly, I feel these in my rear delts more than anything else. I would say exercises that really hammer that area for me, this is it right here. The band pull-aparts. They burn and cramp up that posterior delt, and it's the rear delt that I feel. Right? It's not the trap and the other stuff. I would almost argue these are my favorite. And to the point where I almost feel like pulling the rear delt raises out just to do these instead. Because they feel so effective in that area. They really and truly do, right? And I might start doing that, just doing more and more sets of these. To be honest, because ultimately all the other stuff hits rear delts. It's not like rear delts aren't being worked. Plus, I have a back day the next day. Those wide grip pull-ups, all that rowing. Oh yeah, they're gonna hit the area too. So we double down there. But yeah, the band pull-aparts, plus they're just so good for shoulder health, right? So many physical therapists prescribe these. But yeah, I used 5 sets of these at the end. Overall, pretty happy with today's shoulder workout. Got a great pump and burn in my shoulders. Hit a decent seated press. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.